Buddies Forever.
Hi,
We are
to my bed.
There's Gracie. We are going to show what we do along the way for the projects that are happening now. This is the RV pad, if you remember from the sneak peek on the beach. Finally getting my butt in gear. So we're going to show you today how to put artificial grass to make the piece of plywood move on from very boring to very realistic for an outdoor.
And if you hear any extra noise, that is just our buddy Alex and Panda.
Yes, I do a lot of my work right at the living room, right on the couch, and move it all into the room. Grace says hi.
And new nails.
So previously I get my stuff all ready that I might need, having handy, and my ideas all around me. I've already done the RV pad area previous to knowing we were going to do this video, so it's ready. It is sand rolled in carpenter's glue and then just pushed on there, very messy like, and then that was all kind of sponge and blobby painted.
It's like a bald spot for the RV, I bet.
Yes, I didn't do it in the middle because why bother, because the RV tires will be here and here going all the way down, so I didn't do the middle.
And this is a little bit bumpy. Can I touch it?
Well, that's a little wet. We're prepared for our fire pit. Is already ready. I didn't paint this area because that's where the grass is going, as the note says.
And if you're wondering why,
okay, well, wait.
There's a thing on the wood. There's a hole in there.
We pre-cut
My new bracelet.
the grass, so that's gonna lay there and go like that. It's all ready for the space we have. Back here, when it lays down, is gonna be where I put the enchanted forest for Marisol and whatever else of the Monster High Exchange that are coming. Yeah, the fawn.
Just like an Indian.
So first is a matter of note, the edges so they don't fray. I always put a little bead of glue on it just for security. I don't need a lot right now, so I can show you an example of that. Doesn't have to be neat, just put a little on and
can I try?
mush it in. I actually already did it, I'm just showing a little bit. So nothing neat, but that just makes it not fray. I have already attached it right here, only because that is the front. Right here butts up where the beach starts, the sand and all that, so I want to be very precise on how the grass is laid here. So I did do that without camera because that was just long and boring. So to attach this,
Yeah, it'll be a boring video.
piece of artificial grass, we will show you how that works, and hopefully it will be handy to you.
And I might do some.
If you do some outdoor scenes. I will let you know, artificial grass, the stands do not stand well on them, so the dolls don't stand very well. Polyurethane, a good product I use that's water-based. Now I do use silicone when I put the stuff down because the glue gun, the glue gun does not stick well to this. It does start to come up after a while, if it even sticks at all. The shine and gloss is just too much for it. So I use this silicone, which if you use this in any project, it holds on really good, but it is non-paintable. So you want to be very precise in what you use that for. We got our rocks for the fire pit here. The silicone on. That silicone will hold the rocks. Glue gun, kind of for a while, till it dries up and it'll fall off. Here's our little pond for Marisol. Or no, not Marisol, Luna. Lorna. What'd I say? Lorna. Get confused. These I find are the best for paint pot or water pots because they're kind of bigger at the bottom. They don't tip over as easy.
And it does make me hungry for some yogurt.
Of course, we need lots of these. And we have an ashtray which holds everything so we don't lay it on and ruin our project. So, I'm going to try not to say so many times this time. On with the next part, attaching the grass.
Yeah!
Okay, so here we have our silicone. Like I said, hot glue does work, but and it's nice because it makes it stick immediately, but the silicone just gives me some extra support, so should it come loose, it will also stay in place until I can re-glue it. But of course this part has silicone, so we can, or has sealant on it, so we're going to put some of this extra on, just to be extra sure it doesn't come loose.
So is this clear or white?
You can use any color really, I just particularly like clear. Good question. So all I do is I said so again. Put some.
Mom is obsessed with sews right now.
put a little bead of this.
You just put it on?
And I just put it down. Now the good news about the silicone is it has an 8-hour drying time. So it will be pliable while we're working. Be careful not. So I've just got my hand under here and I'm pushing that.
I really want to try this.
You can. Not too close, honey. Show so they got a good view. So I'm just using my hand to push down that glue gun.
Need to focus.
Now you can see here where the silicone's sticking and it's mushing in, and that's a good thing. So I'm going to catch up over here with some more silicone, kind of keep in order of what I'm doing. Get myself ready.
I'm a little bit confused right here.
Well, so I just go a few inches at a time. I kind of explained it. Of course, we know glue gun dries really fast, so you got to work fast. Make sure I'm even over at the end and push that all in.
Whoa. Whoa. It's moving a little bit.
Yeah, the table's on wheels so we can roll it out right in. Okay, so that should be holding. So you can see, well, it's not perfectly dry, but you get the idea. And we just have to...
Can I zoom in on this?
Why would you zoom in on it? It's just glue. They just want to see kind of what's happening, the process of how to hold it and things like that.
All of that.
All right, so we took the time and we did, we started over here, we went all the way down here, and now we're to an important part. We just want to take a few extra minutes and attention to make sure that this is held on very well so that when we put the rocks on, then it, hold it with two hands, it won't shake. So when we put the rocks on, it won't lift up. I'll just give you a little show of that. I'll make sure I put silicone all around it, and although that will take, don't, Gracie, try and keep it straight. You're gonna give them dizzy vertigo headaches. So I'll put a little extra, oop, said so again. I have to get a rubber band, snap my wrist when I say that.
Want me to go get one?
I have now put silicone all around it. Then when that does dry in 8 hours, it is going to hold very securely. And in the meantime, to make it, it takes a little wrestling. So we'll put a little bit on, so. There's a rubber band snap. Hold that down.
I just laughed, Mom. She said so. No saying the S word.
Yes, I said that way too much in the last video. And here, you're just going to kind of work that at about 1 inch per area until we get it around so it's nice and solid. For those, we have a nice base to put the campfire fire pit rocks on. I'll go back and forth.
Fire pit.
And can they see that good?
I'm making sure it stays focused.
Okay. Maybe come up here a little bit.
I'm like really close to the ashtray, so I'm a little bit afraid.
Okay, you can see that silicone is still wet and going to stay wet for quite some time.
Can we show them the ashtray how much glue there is on?
I think I've already seen it. I showed it earlier.
Yeah, but the hot glue gun is on it.
Inch here.
So we couldn't see all the glue. Mom's been using hot glue gun for I don't know how many years.
I've had this glue gun for like 10 years.
Whoa! I remember you used like a country butter thing. And
Okay.
Mom just put the hot glue gun away.
Well, yeah, move your camera so you can let them see that it's beginning to have nice coverage right here. So that's not going to lift up, and when we put those rocks on, so I only got, my silicone of course is wet. Get that last little bit. Well, the beauty of the silicone is it gives you a pliable working area, and the beauty of the glue gun is that it is quite quicker to dry. And please bear with Gracie, this is only her second time being the videographer, and she's doing a pretty darn good job. If she pulls away, please forgive her for that. Okay,
Making sure it stays focused.
I am just going to finish the rest of this and then we'll be back to you with the next step. And now we have a completely finished artificial grass, all glued on nicely and securely to our RV pad unit. Those steps I took, Alex always says that I'm much too picky and make it overkill in how I attach. That's true. Have you ever been on a carpet that wasn't put down well and had glue and it kind of rippled up and made a mess? And seeing as I'm doing all this work and I want to enjoy it for a long time, I don't want that to happen. So I'd rather be a little proactive about that and not have to yank it out, take everything displayed off, and do it again. So the step I'm at right now is, as much as I tried to get that straight, it hasn't gone exactly my way, and it gets a little bit tilted off, so I'll have to repair that. And I gotta make the edge nice because that is gonna match up to the beach unit, which I'll put a picture on after so you can see what I have to match up to. And I don't want this to show later because, you know, if it's not perfectly in or the carpet rises a little bit, then that is going to show and be very much to the eye. It's going to be distracting, so I want it to look realistic, so I'm going to put the extra work into it. And if there's anything I can tell you from doing projects like this, take your time. I say it all the time, take your time, don't be in a rush. Do it to the best you can, and then it's going to look the best. So I already had markings. I know right here is where the boardwalk is going to meet it, so I'm going to make that a little sandier. So I did that brown. This part I already painted to match the dirty pad part. And here I've just got some green paint, a craft brush right there, and I'm just going to do that. As you can see for next step, I've got it ready. I've picked out some rocks from my bag that I like that are going to look really good as rocks around the pit. So I'm just going to do the tedious and boring job of filling in all my mistakes and making that look good. And this, especially this area, I know is grass meeting grass from where the vendors are on the beach. So I'm going to make that look more grassy. This side I'm going to be able to do a little bit of grass and maybe put a little sand in as if the sands come out. Here is the paint I'm using, which is pretty decent. And we'll see you on the next step. And here we are. Now we have all of that edging in green. We have no, well, there's a little bit right there. No real obvious of that coral dirt color. That looks much neater. And then going back over here, this one's pretty big, and if you looked at my picture, you will see that it was grass to grass. I might very well have to cut a little strip and put it in there. But this area is the boardwalk, the ending to the boardwalk. So that can definitely have people kick their sand off their feet. I have this sparkler confetti glitter, which is like a silver and gold mixed together, which I've used for little spots. And I'm going to work on this thing to make it look better. Now I know I can put a lot, so I'm just going to squirt it on there. This stuff does take about a half hour to an hour to set, a little bit longer than it's fully dry. Now this is meant for fabric, but I find it comes in super handy. These containers I think are about $2.99. The smaller ones are about $1.50, I think. If you bought one or two a week, or every other week, you end up with a good collection of these. And they do last a long time. I've only ever completely used my gold, silver, and I think the sparkly white that I used in Abby's room. So I'm just randomly doing that in places that would make it look like the sand got kicked and strewn off the boardwalk. Gracie's busy playing Minecraft. So as I said, that can be thick. Now on here, we know that this matches up with the other piece, which is next to the sand. So I'm just going to put a little here and there. And your eye will just catch, your eye will fill in gaps. And if it sees, even if there is a small gap there from how it will lay, Your eye will actually, as I've learned as painting tricks, your eye will trick your brain like brain games, and it will look more attached than it is. Whoops. So not a lot, just a little bit. And I think it's good. I don't want any over there because that's just grass on grass. I think that's done. Later on, I'll take the scissors, little scissors, and I will just cut some of these off that are going over a little too far that might make it not come together well. And remember, you guys are going to have to tell me if this is boring to you. You've asked how I do it in tutorials. Well, there is hours upon hours put into each piece. So you let me know. This is a lot of work for me to tape it as I'm in the mood to be creative. And I'm trying to use Alex's phone, so I'll finish this off later, but that's just so it pushes up against the beach unit better. Next, I'm going to go over and start prepping my area for the fire pit, which looks pretty good as it is, but I'm always trying to go a step above. I've done that with paint, multiple colors. Now I'm using this, which I've honestly had for about 10 years. It's an old fabric paint. And these little edges right here, when you put the rocks close and glue them, they're going to show. And although I can touch it up later, see how those show there? And mostly fire pits, that's not the way. So I'm just going to put a little bit to kind of also make a seal and hide any glue gun that might be showing. I don't like glue gun showing. A sign of professional work is making sure your glue gun is not showing. It's a good tip I learned a long time ago. So it's just as if the dirt has made that a little nicer. And I'm also going to do that around the rest of the pad so the grass doesn't look so perfectly manicured. And next we will work on the rocks. And here we are. I did decide I didn't like this was too big to fill in, and I also did decide to put some sand in with that puffy paint just for a little more realism. Here, Grace, hold that. Doing that, I just cut a strip off. I've already begun to do it. I'm almost done. Just showing a little bit of the strip I had, and I'm putting it on there. And then it's going to match up nicely from that picture to the other grass stuff. I will snip this off after it dries. For the sand, over here, this is what I did with the beach. I have some sand. That was a mixture sand from Joann's, I think. Joann's or Michael's, I don't know. I mixed two kinds, a fine one and a little bit less fine, and I put gold glitter in it. Oh, too close. Gold glitter in it to make it sparkle and mix with this puffy paint so it would match. So it's just like doing glitter, but I just want this new piece. I'll seal it and just give it. On my thing I said keep them upside down, that's why it keeps the stuff.
Yeah, because it's going to take like 10 minutes just to get one drop in.
Yeah, especially when you have a big one, it keeps all of the liquid down near the tip. Sometimes you get the oil that will release from it and go, you got to shake it, but at least everything's staying down here and you're getting the best use of your puffy paint. And, oh, too close.
Stuff.
Too close, yeah. So just like you do glitter, here, keep it on there.
It's that white stuff.
I just got a plate, dropping sand on there. And I will let that sit and dry when it dries, and I will vacuum it. And then it's not just looking like shiny stuff. It's a little extra. And that's all that is. Most of that won't stay. That will also be brushed off and be more subtle, but not just looking like glitter. All right. See, I didn't say so.
Mom, you said the S word.
Here we are. We got that stuff all done. Now we're going to the fire pit rocks. I thought it would be kind of handy to show you how they are attached. Glue gun does not like the rocks. It'll do it kind of in the beginning, it will fall off after a few months. It just detracts.
Not cool.
Yes. And here you can see, is the flash on? The light's on? Yep. The only trick to doing these, now I've of course set them up first. They're ready to go. Made sure my fire will fit. And the only trick, okay, go here. So what I'm going to do, I got my silicone handy.
They're actually real.
Okay, you have to put it from above so you can see. They are real rocks, a little pack. When I'm going to put the silicone near what's on the inside. This stuff is amazing what it holds. Like I said, you cannot get paint on it though.
So it's better than wax?
Well, it's more permanent. This is what they put some tile stuff in tile kitchens and things like that. And I'm going to use the glue gun. Although I know it'll go dry later, for now it will help me get the rock to stay where I want. And I will just set that in there.
Well, I couldn't see that because Mom's hand was in it.
Well, maybe the camera girl has to move over here. Over here.
You said don't get the people a headache.
Well, you move slowly. So I'll do another one. So if any silicone does come out, it will squish on this side and not that side where I can't hide it. In here, I can use that brown puffy paint to hide it. So here again, I'll put a little bit of silicone.
It's white at first, then it's gonna go clear, right?
Okay, yeah, this one's clear. That's a nice reason why I like using clear. And I'm just gonna move it slowly, Grace. Just gonna put those in there all the way around. I've got them all in place so I don't end up with a gap. I'll show another one or two and then we'll move. Oops.
No gaps. Besides that one, which is very, very teeny.
Well, if I didn't pay attention and then, yeah, it wouldn't make a circle. I don't have a rock big enough or it's too big or whatever. So just continue on with that process.
My mom does have a towel so she don't wipe, right?
Oh yes, on my lap if you'd like to see.
On the shelf?
Sure.
And that's her e-cig.
Yes, I don't smoke anymore. That's great. Okay, one more. That down.
Just pretend you're here right now and my mom is your mom. And Alex is your stepdad.
There we go.
Pet.
I think that gives you a good idea of how to attach the rocks. We'll finish that up and then I'll just show you how to use some puffy paint to make the fire look better.
That is 3D.
It's kind of monotone and I don't like monotone.
What's monotone?
All one color, good question.
It's a little bit darker in person. It's a little bit brighter on camera.
Okay, well it's still monotone, it's one color. I'm going to put some yellow and some glitter in it and it's going to be the same. No, that's too much.
That means it's harder than the orange and red.
That's true. But so that'll be the same kind of technique I used to do the candles in the dollhouse. So give us a few minutes and we'll get back to some more.
Teaching is our new channel. Beep beep.
Here we are again. I took a little time and I started the fire pit with this color. I added some more. You're wondering why am I doing so much work to the fire pit? Well, this is going to be the Monster High Exchange area next to the RV, which kind of makes sense because they travel. And then we're going to have all the new ones coming that are going to be all on this grass area. We have heath with the marshmallows and stuff. So I'm going to do the best I can. Over here, of course, is going to be a forest. So this is kind of the main focus. I did take 2 of these stickles. I already told you stickles dries flat, whereas the puffy paint can be whatever you make it in puffy. These are also dull colors, distressed. These are great scrapping things. This one is a perfect example of leaving upside down. You can see how you get every single bit of that once you've paid for it. So I mixed, and I also used asphalt. That's the white. You can see I want it to look like ashes under the fire. The whiter stuff will dry clear. So the painting I just said so twice. I should pay a nickel every time I say that. When that dries, it'll blend in with what was done earlier as a base, just slop paint. And then you can see the other 2 colors are worked in. They're kind of like dull glitter. And now I will get on to making this fire just a little better. Now we have the fire. We have some more puffy paints of different brands. I got yellow and orange. This was a cool 10-pack, which had all odd colors. This one you gotta be a little bit artistic with. Like I said, you can use this for even Barbie candlesticks that you find that are just a little blah, or if you paint them a different color, or like those chandeliers we used. And I'm just gonna put some color on them.
There's a lot of clear edge on the wood and a little bit on the fire.
And just play with it. And put,
Now what they do if you mess up in it and you didn't realize it?
wipe it off. As long as you do it immediately. So this is what I mean by that's a good question. The way that you just get artistic with it. You know the background's gonna dry clear. Not too close, honey. Just gonna add a little extra color to it. Monotone. When you tend to get into at least 3 colors on an object, then it starts to look more realistic. Then if you just have 1 or 2 colors, think about Barbie stuff as mostly 1 or 2 colors and it's just a little bland. So I'm just looking at it and going, where do I need a little more color? A little more pizzazz. No wrong or right way. And now you understand why I'm always saying the words puffy paint in the individual videos, because this stuff comes in super handy. In this case, it's not going to be very puffy at all. So now you can see, I gotta pay a nickel to top this off. Okay, do this sideways. Very carefully, I'm gonna make a point of making the tip of the flame. Now see, that one is a little big. If you just play with it, I'm gonna wipe that off. Just play with it a little bit. Okay, come back over here.
Right
They know I wiped it off with my cloth. Always keep a cloth handy. And so you're, in a way, just putting a little dab and then working it up. And then it'll look
I got
little
it,
bit
bitch.
more.
It's on my foot.
Hold on. Look a little bit more like fire because of the puffy qualities.
I wish there was gonna be blue on it.
Well, it could have been blue, but it's just it will stand out too much in this application. You're right about the blue. This will sink a little bit. Why are you going so far away? And just play with it. The firmness of it will, like I said, it will sink a little bit, but the pond. Okay, don't get that in. We're not working on that. Listen, Miss chasing butterflies. There we go. How does that look? Can you see it? Looks a little bit better. All I'm going to do now is
I'll drop something.
okay,
Like
come up
normal.
here. So now I left a little bit in there without anything on it. In there, I'm going to take this.
Be careful, Mom.
I don't know.
So you won't drop it, then it's gonna be all messed up.
That's right. I'm going to put some silicone on there because I know silicone sticks to this right. In this case, I wouldn't want wax.
A little bit of.
Oh, thank you. This stuff is not like glue gun where you can wipe away the filaments.
For some reason, to me, it smells like mint.
Yeah, it does have an odd smell. And that is ready to be placed in there carefully, as Gracie said. That's a good idea. I already had this. Oh! Wow!
I told you not to
I got
do
lucky.
that.
Well, I'm a little bit klutzy. Can you put it up a little more? Okay.
But the people want to see what the people want to see.
Okay, well, we're setting it in here. Is it on there? So I'll just set it there. Squish it back and forth a little bit to make sure that silicone takes. Carefully. And now I will not touch that. And I will let that dry.
Do you see the stuff on the stone?
Yeah, but it will.
That was Mom, not me.
So I think this looks really good for a fire pit. A lot better than just what it was sitting by itself.
It's part of my.
Lastly, we're just gonna do like I did inside there. I'm gonna take the extra details of using some of this dirt colored stuff, puffy paint, to soften up the edges of this grass so it doesn't look so perfectly manicured as a campsite would not look, and also use to my advantage to hide the pieces or hide the glue that may have squeezed out, and give it a little extra seal and stickiness just in case. I'm going to finish with that. That'll be the end of this video. We'll move on to the part up here, which, as you can see, I've got a little bit ready that I'm going to use that foam and do the enchanted forest. So you'll come off the boardwalk here, go to the campsite, come off the boardwalk and go to the forest, which will be Marisol and any of the other new Monster High exchange students who live in the forest. And that is what we have. Please do let me know. Is it worth me doing this? Is it boring? Or will you enjoy this tediously long videos like this to show how these things move along? Please comment down below. Subscribe if you haven't already. And to those who've been watching and supporting us already, thank you very much. Have a good night.